Welcome to Friday Focus, January 27th, 2017. I'm going to talk to you about something that kind of been understanding better. I read a book recently. It was called The Founder's Mentality, and the book was really designed for larger companies that went through periods of turmoil where they really grew fast, had what they call an insurgency, and then things would change and they kind of got blown back into the direction of maybe not growing so much. And the real issue was, most businesses are founded based on some kind of founder's mentality. There's a person that starts a business and they grow the business in a certain fashion, and then they have to delegate more things out and hire more people, and there's a tendency for bureaucracies to kind of step in and almost like infect the founder's mentality and try to turn it into something that wasn't really originally designed to be. And I'm seeing that a little bit in our practice. I want to bring back the founder's mentality into our practice. I've been meeting with more and more people talking about where our vision came from. We talked about the vision going forward in last week's Friday Focus, but then what about our vision going backwards? I'm going to go with it with you a little bit and then talk about maybe the things that we've lost a little bit in our practice. So we started in 2004, and at that time I was working Tuesdays and like every other Saturday, and that was our year of inception, 2004. And we were open Tuesdays and every other Saturday, and then we had a nurse here doing laser hair removal on other days. And that time we weren't even doing veins yet. The vein stuff, the ablations and the RFs didn't even exist yet. To be exact, that's how new that is. And we were doing some injectables and different cosmetic things. And we really got pretty busy and very effective, and the staff knew how to do all the different jobs. Crystal, our longest employee, she was like our first person doing ultrasound and stuff. And everybody kind of knew to do the other jobs. We were very adaptable. We knew how to say yes instead of no. We never blocked what we called rock space. And we were able to really scale up very fast. And in 2007 was kind of our peak of efficiency. And since that time, we've added a lot of layers of, I would call bureaucracy, where I'm being told by people that we got to have all these different silos to control different things. Like we've got the marketing silo that we've blown up, got the finance silo, we've got the call center silo, we've got the front desk silo, we've got the derm silo, we've got the CoolSculpt silo, the HRT silo, the surgery silo. But back when we started out, we just had like one office, and everybody know how to do everything. And there's a tendency for bureaucrats to tell us that that's how it's got to be. We've got to have HR kind of controlling HR, and we got to have finance controlling finance. Well, I agree the financial person shouldn't be doing the ultrasound. But what happens if the finance person knows what we do for a living, what our business is? What happens if HR knows the products or knows the procedures we do? What happens if the person that's running the front line that's seeing the patient knows our expenses? What happens if we've seen what happens when the people that are seeing the patients know marketing? That's really been really good for our practice to understand how we can do better marketing. What about costs to the office? What about how the phones are handled? You can maybe have some input. What about how we're making decisions and running the business? What about IT? And IT is a classic silo where we have people that are building things for us, but at the front line you're saying, well, my IT's not working, and you expect somebody else to fix it. And what happened is that over the past 10 years, we developed these silos, and we're being told by the people in charge of the silos that you have to, this is how we got to do it. This is our bureaucracy. So silo is like you say, a silo might be a grain silo, and there's people inside the silo that are working with the people outside here, and they throw things over the wall that are like bombs that affect people here. And I want to break down silos, and we're going to in every department of our office. And I'm going to talk to you about how these silos have, a silo would be silo 1 and silo 2. You got people in here throwing bombs over the wall, people here throwing bombs over the wall, and they're not communicating with each other. I'm seeing that more and more in our practice. We got billing totally isolated, marketing was totally isolated, that's changed a lot. IT is certainly isolated, finance department is isolated, shipping and receiving is isolated, I think even delivering equipment is isolated. And we can get better at that. I'm talking to you about some things that I've seen that were really part of the founder's mentality. My mentality started the business that I'm seeing us drift away from. Number 1 is customers first. And I see there's a tendency to make the first person us. I see people wanting to figure out how to make the schedule perfect so that we can accommodate ourselves, how we can make ourselves nice and orderly so it's really kind of clean and easy for us. It makes us inefficient. Number 2 is never block rock space. And rock space would be the things that you want to do. We should never have blocks that we cannot accommodate a surgery or an endovenous ablation or a mapping or a cosmetic patient. Number 3 is saying yes and don't say no. We used to be able to say, when we train the staff, you say yes. When a person asks a question, yes, and figure out how to make it happen. Now we've gotten very good at figuring out the no's. You already had no. Figure out how to say yes. I've heard about cases where the doctors don't want to see the patients because the patient's running late. Or maybe even the doctor wants to leave and call the patients to come back in early so that they can get out here earlier. No, okay? We accommodate the patients. There was somebody was bringing up an example how back in the old days, Dr. Moak, and if a patient showed up late, you come back in the office, and now we can't get the doctor to stay. Not acceptable, okay? How about same-day treatment? We got away from that a lot. I think we're getting much better with same-day treatment now, but it used to be that was kind of like a standard. We did same-day treatment every time. One I like the best is number 6, make it happen. So instead of saying no, say yes, and figure out how to make it happen. Number 7, innovate. We built this practice on innovation. We hire people who maybe didn't know the innovation. That's maybe a fault of the people that have been here a long time like me, that we didn't explain to people where we've been and how we got to where we are. And they assume that's as far as we can go. We developed this new system, and that's as far as we're going. We're going to always innovate. Learn. Always learn. And there's a tendency to want to finish your training and come to a business. I know I did a lecture for a bunch of doctors recently, and there were doctors in different specialties. And I talked to them about what we're doing in our practice, and it was obvious that most of them really don't read anymore. They just kind of got their residency done, and they do the minimum amount of continuing medical education credits, but are not reading, not learning, and that's a hole. Adapting. That's one of our core values. Adapting. And even when we say it's a core value, I see there's a lot of lack of adaptability. Oh, that's not my department, that's not my job. Get the damn job done, okay? Don't tell me about that's not your department. Interesting, on my list, I've got find a way to make it happen again. We already said that one, that's very important. Speed and agility. Speed and agility. Speed does not mean you're rushed, but speed means you figure out how to do it now. You don't make the patient wait. If you need to get, if you're waiting for a mapping, start the photos, get the consent done, but this linear thinking where you only do certain things in order doesn't give us speed. Agility might be training the PAs to do ultrasound, right? So the ultrasound by the ultrasound tech is a billable procedure, but ultrasound guidance can be done by a medical assistant, by a technician. I used to do all the ultrasound myself. Now we're thinking we can't do it. So that's something we're going to fix. Efficiency. Our efficiency has gone terribly downhill. I was looking at the metrics from 2007 to 2017. Our production per employee has gone down by 58%. 58%, which means that we're saying, okay, I'm over here doing this job, and I'm over here doing this job, and this other person's waiting for something. That's not either of our jobs. We're going to have somebody else do it. We got to wait for person 3 to do it. That's not efficiency. Our efficiency has dropped by over 50%. You want to compete in that environment? It's not going to happen. So we got to increase our efficiency, and that's by adopting these other methods. Yes, I can do it. I'm hearing different doctors and different people talk about, they ask somebody to do something and say, oh no, I don't really want to do that, or no, I don't know how to do that. The answer is yes. Figure out how to make it happen. And the last one is lean. Lean, we have these lean meetings that really aren't getting pulled off very well, but we're certainly going to do better. Lean means that we really have to stop thinking about departments. And when we started the practice, I was very adamant about we don't have departments. Marketing is everybody, the IT is everybody, you work with each other, everybody's responsible for certain things. Now sometimes we say if everybody's responsible, nobody's responsible. That's accountability. Somebody might be accountable for getting something done, but everybody here is responsible for the patient experience. I don't care what department you're in. Okay, it could be shipping, it could be moving the machines around, it could be finance, it could be billing. You're all responsible for the patient experience. And if you're not participating in that, you're actually damaging the founder's mentality. Because there was never a time until recently that people would feel they have nothing to do with patient care. And I'm seeing more and more people that we're hiring that have no understanding of even what we do for a living, okay? And that makes us not lean. That makes us lose the founder's mentality, and that makes us lose our direction. For us to grow, we have to realize that we are an entire team of teams. Yeah, we have a lot of teams in different divisions, but we're a team of teams. But too often we're getting segregated. We're really getting focused on focusing what department we're doing, what our job descriptions are. If you want that kind of bureaucracy, this is the wrong place, okay? Job descriptions are maybe some basic things that you have to understand what you're expected to do, but you're expected to take care of everything that needs to be done in the practice, okay? And that's the founder's mentality. I'm seeing more and more things that are going against that, and I'm realizing that we're maybe heading in the wrong direction a little bit in terms of where we're going, okay? And I'm gonna rewrite the ship and get us going back in the direction we need to go. So what got us to success is certain inherent and undeniable principles that we need to keep intact to move forward. So that's Friday Focus. I'm going to be working with the different teams to understand how to make this happen when we continue to break down silos and make us more effective, more efficient, and allow us to continue to grow. Thank you very much.